Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is a last minute Nostrovini before the big Lopez Campo fight. As I said in my previous post last week, a few days ago, that Victor, no, let me get back to it. Lopez will knock out Campos. I'd say fairly early. Campos is not a bad fighter, but he's not a great fighter. He's what you call, I wouldn't say mediocre because that's too insulting. He's medium, aggressive, but I have seen him knocked out cold. And Lopez can punch. It'll be interesting if Lopez loses. This would be a catastrophe for Lopez. I don't think he's gonna lose. Um, Xanadar Zulus is going to fight Alicius Espadas. I probably butchered this guy's Zola's name, but as I have a history. Um, this fight's going to go not so long. Um, Not so long. I mean, actually, I'll go the distance because Espadis is not a bad fighter, and I think he'll be outclassed throughout. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. It'll be a showcase for Exandaro. What else going on there? Now, on the other undercard fights, which I didn't say with my last post, Andre Contreras against Abraham Montoya. This is an easy one. Andreas is making his pro debut. I couldn't even find any record of Montoya. I don't even think I have to be a Nostrovini to tell you that what's going to happen is a win for Contreras or Andreas. Making it easy on myself. Andreas, I could actually pronounce. Now, the uh, the other fights on the card are a series of on paper competitive fights. But when you look at the amateur pedigree of the guys I favor, maybe you don't even have to be Nostrovini to know who's going to win and who's going to lose. Um, let's see. Troy Icing, 5-0 with 3 KOs against Victor Tony, 6-0 with 1 draw and one loss. Victor, I'm going to tell you, Troy is amateur, great amateur. He's turning. He's only got. He's got 3 KOs out of 5 fights. He's been probably fighting pretty good opposition. But Victor, I saw both of them. I went on the internet. Victor is not that as good. He's just not as good. He's got a lot of KOs on paper, but he's a little long in the tooth. He's not a young man. He's in his 30s. It looks like if my limited intellect can remember, and that's the way that fight's gonna go. Now there's Duke Reagan. Duke Reagan has 1 KO. He's fighting Angelo Fuentes, 7-0 with 4 KOs. Duke, amateur fighter, great again. You got to be suspicious. Also, another sign that somebody's favored is the guy who gets the first billing. Angelo, I'm a little suspicious of. He has a good record, but I can't find any on the internet. I find interviews, but anybody can interview the fighter. He's not been on television. He's not considered that big a prospect. Telling you, these are the signs. Am I giving away that the magic doesn't always work? I don't know. I don't know. No, the magic does work. I have intuition too. Because I got an 80% victory percentage. I hope somebody doesn't research that too much because maybe I'm off. I've never been in a man. Anyway, Omar Rosario, 7-0 with 2 KOs against Epstein and Munoz, 7-1 with 4 KOs. This is another one where Epstein is not on the net. Interviews, yeah, and prospects and then sparring sessions in the gym, but no interview. Omar, on the other hand, has been on the TV, on the streaming, on undercards where they actually had announced announcing his fights. But prospect, Perhaps I think he has a good punch. I saw some knockouts and they were impressive. Only two. It's a little suspicious, but then if he's fighting really good opposition, not so much. You know, a lot of guys where they have these great KO records, it's because the opposition is very weak. You know, you gotta look at that. You gotta look at it. Say, oh my God, both of these guys can punch. Sometimes the guys who have had opposition that's weak are better than you think. Because even though they're knocking out nobody, they still got the big punch. So sometimes guys are surprised. Okay, so let's see. How many fights is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 fights. 5 fights. I'm predicting I'm gonna be totally right on this. It's gonna be interesting fights to an extent because these guys have fairly good records. But Campos Lopez, I don't see this going the distance. Campos has a good record. I don't have a written. Okay, let's see here. I think I have it actually on the reverse here. Campos is 34, 1-1 with 23 KOs. Not bad, not bad. But I saw him knock out Holt. Telefimo Lopez can still punch. He's a good fighter. I don't think he's as good a fighter as Telefimo Lopez thinks he is. But then again, nobody is as good a fighter as Lopez thinks he is. Anyway, and as Alexander Zaluz, 13-9 with 9 KOs, fighting 22-4, 15 KOs. Kid Epidosa. That's interesting. Epidosa's never been knocked out. Never been knocked out. If the Xena the X-Men can knock him out, that would be very impressive. I would be very impressed by that. I think he's just gonna outclass him, maybe TKO him. Anyway, this is my predictions. I'm gonna be a whole series. This is experiment because I'm trying to look at the correct thing. So I'm looking at my eye. I got enough sleep, so I'm not like this to go that. All right. Yeah, I'm from the gym. I got like my beard. Anyway. Fights begin at 6:35 on ESPN Plus. And then I'm not sure. I think they flipped to ESPN regular, or you can stay on the Plus. I'm not sure. Not really sure. It's a lot of information. A lot of information. You like my shirt? This is my red shirt. I like my red shirt. It's good. All right. Here we go. Let's get out of here. Okay? Yeah, let's get out. All right. Bye.